So before we start, let me ask some small questions. Like, can you give some example programming languages which are structured programming languages? Structured programming.
Can you please repeat the question?
Which are the programming languages which are under structured programming? Structured programming language.
C and C language.
Yeah, C language. And older languages like Pascal, COBOL, Fortran, all those things are considered as structured programming. Then, can you give examples of object-oriented programming languages?
Java.
Java. What else?
C++. I think C++ is partially object-oriented.
Yeah, C++. Then what else? What else? .NET, PHP.
I think.
Yeah,
PHP.
All these things are also considered as object-oriented programming. So the topic what we are going to learn is Java, the concepts. So since Java is object-oriented programming language, so we should have an idea of object-oriented concepts. So without having idea of what are these object-oriented concepts, we cannot enter into Java programming. So today our discussion will be on object-oriented concepts. Okay. So today let me start off over concepts, which we call it as object-oriented concepts. Simple words, we say over concepts, or you can even say features. Then we are having totally 6 important object-oriented features. They are objects, classes, data abstraction, data encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. So these are the 6 important object-oriented concepts. So let us discuss one by one. So whatever the discussion we are doing, it's like a small overview only. And once we enter into Java, we'll be discussing about every feature once again. It will go for near to 5 to 6 days only on these concepts. Once we enter into Java programming. Okay. Let us go with the first one, object. So you can take an object like any real-time entity is called as an object. Any real-time entity, where you can able to give at least some properties, minimum one property also. For example, if I take a object like entity like laptop, so what features we can give for laptop? What features we can give for laptop?
Internet. We can play the music.
They are the operations what you are doing with the machine. I am asking what features we can give for laptop. Features, the properties. So when you are purchasing laptop, what do you see?
Okay.
Processor, RAM, hard disk.
The RAM capacity, hard disk capacity. That is the features means the properties.
Processor, RAM,
like the make of your laptop, the model of the laptop, the processor, then RAM capacity, hard disk capacity, right? The screen size. These all things we are going to see. These are only called as properties. These are only called as properties. So what is an object? A real-time entity which has some properties. So if you are able to give at least one property, they are called as objects. So you can define an object like an object is a real-time entity which has identity, state, and behavior. An object is what? It's a real-time entity which has identity, state, and behavior. Let us understand about these 3 words: identity, state, and behavior with a diagram. Refer diagram. Object.png. Okay. I'm drawing a diagram related to object. So let us consider an object called as car. Let me consider an object called car. So for this car, we are giving an ID. like something, some number, some registration number like AP23, some 1556, some number. So this is your ID. Then the meaning of state of your object is the properties only. So what properties can you give for car? What properties can we give for car?
We can check the model of the year.
Yeah, that is make, model,
Make.
then color of the
Body
car,
size.
the capacity, right? That is how many seats are there.
Yeah.
Then price of the car,
Size of the car.
yeah, engine number, like this. It will list out, it will be keep on going. So the properties what you are going to give the car, that is called as the state of your object. Clear with the word state? The properties are only called as state. So these properties, even we call it as data members, even we call it as data members or variables or fields or properties. Any name, all the meanings are same. So this one we can even call it as what? Data members or fields or variables or properties. All the meanings are same. All the meanings are same. Then your object has one more thing like behavior. An object has ID, state and behavior. So the meaning of behavior is the operations what you perform on the car. So what operations we can perform on car? What we can do with car? What are the functionalities? We drive, right?
We can drive the car and we can reach our destination.
Right. So when you drive, we can reach the destination. Then what operations we do with car? Apply brake, right? Apply brake, then reverse, change gear. Got the meaning of
Hello.
this?
Can you please
Stop.
repeat it again, sir? I'm not able to hear you.
Which one? Yes. So the functionalities, the operations what you perform on the car, they are what? Your behavior. So this behavior, we can even call it as methods or functions or operations. All the meanings are same. This behavior, we can even call it as methods or functions or operations. Okay. So is it clear with this word object? Object as ID, state and behavior. You got the meaning of state and behavior? Both of you, Dinesh and Girish?
Yes.
Right? Then, so what are the diagrams I'm drawing? So all the diagrams, the document, whatever I'm preparing, then this session will get recorded. Okay. So all the things will be coming to you. All the things will be coming to you once we complete the class. Okay. Once the class is over, the things will come to you automatically. Okay. So I'll be sending the things to you. Girish, are you able to hear me now properly?
Yes, I'm able to.
Okay. So the diagrams, the documents, the programs, and the recorded session will come to you once the class is completed. Okay. So once you get confirmed, then the things will come to you once I get your mail IDs. Then the next one, class. So we can define a class as a class is a collection of related objects. A class is a collection of related objects. So I'll be elaborating more about what is these related objects by taking an example later. Then we can define a class as one more way. A class is a collection of data members and methods. A class is what? It's a collection of data members and methods. As an example, the data members of your class will act, the state of your object will act as data members, the behavior of your object will act as methods. So as an example, how to create a class in Java is we use a keyword class and the name of the class. Like example, I'm taking employee. So for employee, what features we can give? Like int, employee number. What is int here, Dinesh? What is int?
It's a class method.
It's a data type. Int is what? It's a data type. So employee number is what type of data? Integer. This type of things you are clear with, no, Dinesh? The data types. Yes. What type of data you want to store? Okay. So integer means without decimal points. Then string employee name means in employee name we can store string type of data, alphabets or alphanumeric. Then double employee salary. What's the meaning of double? What's the meaning of double? It's also a data type, but what is the meaning of it? What type of data we can store in double?
Double.
Yes, Girish. So we can store floating type of data, decimal points.
Sure.
So yeah, float. We are having data type float. So float and double both are same, but the double is more powerful. That is, in double we can store more value than float. The range of double is more than float, similar to float only. So where we can go with decimal points. Integer means no decimal points. Okay. Whereas floating type means float or double, it can store decimal points. So I'll discuss about data types again later. Then, so these three we call it as data members. So where you are storing the data, that is variables are only called as your data members. Then let us go with some methods like void set employee details. So whenever I say method, you can find brackets, parentheses at the end with some code. Then void display employee details. Then what's the meaning of void? What's the meaning of void? Dinesh, Girish, what's the meaning of void?
Void.
You are not having any idea, Dinesh?
No.
Okay, let me explain this. So this void means it's a return type. Void is what here? It's a return type. Return type. And void means no return type. Void means what? No return type. Okay, simple words to say. Void means no return type. Simple words you can say. Okay, let me explain. What's the meaning of return type here? What's the meaning of return type? So, if you take a method, like I'm having a method, area, where I'm passing to length and breadth. To the area method, I'm passing length and breadth. Now, I want to find area. So, I'll say here int a. And we'll see the formula for area is what? Area of rectangle is length into breadth. And I'm saying here return area. I'm returning it. So this, whatever the value you are returning, when I call the method area, when I pass two arguments LNB, this LNB are called as arguments, then I'm finding the area here and I'm returning the value of area. That is the result. So this A is what type of data, Dinesh? This A is what type of data?
It's a return type.
It is an integer data type. What type of data it holds? A is what type of data here? Dinesh, it's only for you. Dinesh. So A is what type of data? Integer, right? Integer. A is what type of data? Integer. So I'm returning A. So this A is what type of data? Integer. So before the method, we have to say here int. Before the method, what type of data you are returning? You have to provide the return type over there. So that means that is the meaning called as return type. Okay. So if I'm not returning anything, that is if I'm not writing return statement in the method, then we use void. If I'm not writing any return statement for the method, we use what? Void. Okay, finish. About void?
Void.
Got it?
system.out.println.
Like for example, here in this one, this is one case. Let me take this case. I'm writing like this. So instead of returning, I'm printing here. I'm printing A. So I'm not returning anything. I did not write return statement. In that case, we go for void. Right? If you are not returning any value, we go for void. Okay, if you return some value, you should mention the type of data what you are returning. That's the meaning called as return type. Clear with this word, Dinesh?
Yeah.
Now, so what is a class now? A class is a collection of data members and methods. A class is a collection of data members and methods. You remember this point only now. Then, once you create the class, the members of the class, whenever I say members, it can be your data member or method. It can be what? Your data members or methods. So the members of the class are accessed by using objects. The members of the class are accessed by using objects with the dot operator. With which operator? Dot operator. Like an example, if I say here employee E. So what is employee here? The class name. And E is what? E is an object of class employee. E is an object of class employee. Okay. So the class acts like a data type and objects acts like a variable. The class acts like a data type. So this class is acting like a data type and object acts like a variable. So E is an object of class employee. So this is the syntax we follow in C++. In Java, how to create objects is, we say class name, the object name equal to new, again the class name. This is the syntax we follow in Java. Okay, I'll discuss much more about syntaxes later. Just remember, in case of Java, how to create objects, the class name, object name equal to new, again the class name with brackets. So for now, you remember, once you create a class, in order to access the members of the class, we need to create object. That point you remember. Don't worry about syntaxes today only. Now, what is the object here? E is the object, right? E is object. So, how to access members of class? E dot employee number equal to 111. Okay. E dot employee name equal to some name. Since name is of type string, the value should be given in double quotes. Then E dot set employee details. When I call the method A dot set employee details, it will go to the method set employee details and the code in the method will get executed. So whenever you want to access the members of the class, we have to create the object. So once you create the object, by using object, we access the members of the class. This is the major point which I will be using once we enter into Java. Okay, only this point is required for me to enter into Java. Okay, so remaining concepts are optional to learn today only. Okay, since however we are discussing over concepts, let me recap all the features. Clear, Dinesh and Girish, this point?
Yeah.
So this is the point which I use more once we enter into Java intermediate. Now let us go for the next one. Yeah, anything, Dinesh?
No, nothing from side.
Okay. Identifying objects and classes. So let us suppose when some scenario is given or some requirement is given, from the given requirement, from the scenario, how to identify objects and classes. Let us see that. So let me take the scenario like Mr. XXX teaches Java at RRR Technologies. So Mr. XXX teaches Java at RRR Technologies. Then PPP attends Java sessions. Then Mrs. XXX teaches testing at the same company. QQQ attends testing sessions. So this is a small scenario given to us. Then when some scenario is given, how to identify the objects and classes from the scenario. So first we need to identify the objects. How to identify objects here is the nouns what you are having in the scenario. The English grammar word noun, they are only objects. The nouns in the scenario are your objects. So which are the objects here in our example? Which are the objects? Yes, Dinesh and Girish.
XXX, Mr. XXX.
Right. Mr. XXX.
Mr. XXX is a
Java. Then RRR.
is an object.
Then PPP, right? Then after that, Mrs. XXX. Then testing and QQQ, right? Clear this one? The objects from the scenario, the nouns are your objects. Then once you identify the objects, the next step is we need to categorize the objects. The next step is what we need to categorize. How to categorize here is if I take Mr. XXX and Mrs. XXX. So what is the common name we can give for this?
XXX.
Common name. Common. What is the role they are playing? What they are here? What they are here?
They're teaching.
They are teachers, right? They are what here? Yeah. Teachers. The role what they are playing is teachers. So we can say it as what here? Faculty or teacher, anything. They are what? Faculty. Then Java and testing. What is the common name we can give for this? What these are? Java and testing. What these are here?
Technologies.
Technologies are we can say we deal with the course Java and testing. Okay. Then RRR. What is this one? It's a company. A common name. Then PPP and QQQ. What these are? PPP and QQQ.
Students.
Yeah, students. So you can see student. So always remember the class name will be singular. So these are only called as your classes. So how we are forming classes? By using objects only. So first we need to identify the objects, then categorize the objects. Once you categorize, you give one common name for them. What is the based on the role they are playing? Okay, give the common class name. So that is only your class. So we got the definition now. A class is a collection of what? Related objects. Got the meaning of this word? Related objects. Yes, Dinesh and Girish. A class is a collection of related objects. Okay. So any questions up here? Anyone?
Class is a name like college.
Right. A common name.
Can you please repeat it again, sir? I'm not able to get your audio sometimes.
No, a class is a collection of related objects. So what is this? Mr. XXX and XXX? They are objects. We are
college. Yeah. As a common name.
Yeah, college also common name. College, student, employee, technology, bank, account, saving account, current account. All these are what? All these are what here? The classes. Then what's the meaning of object? What's the meaning of object here? Object means what? If I take employee, then what's the meaning of object? If I take student, what is the meaning of object? So for this online course, I am the faculty. For this online course, you are the students. Then, which are the objects here? Raj is an object. Dinesh is an object. Girish is an object. Clear now? Okay. A common name is your class, but actual picture is what?
Sir, I'm not able to get your audio.
Hello? You are able to hear me properly or unable to understand the concepts? Hello? Dinesh?
Yeah, sometimes I'm not able to get your audio.
Okay.
It's breaking for a long time.
No, I'm asking, the problem is with the concept or audio?
Audio.
Audio. Okay. Now is it clear to you now?
Yeah, it's clear now.
Okay, okay, right. Now I'm just you got the meaning of class and object now, Dinesh?
No, there's a lot of disturbance while you are telling about the
Right,
class.
right. So let me take one simple example. Like for this online class today, we are having the object like the class like faculty and student.
Mhm.
Faculty is the class and student is the class here. Then which are objects here? Which are objects? So for faculty, which is the object here? Myself, that is Raj. Raj is the object, the real picture,
Yeah.
the real entity. Then the student is what? Dinesh and Girish. They
Yes.
are your objects. Okay? Clear with these terms?
Yes.
Right? Okay, don't worry today only all the things. Okay, it's like a small worry only. As the days goes on, you will understand the much more picture about this. So for now, you remember a class. Once I create a class, to access the members of the class, we create object. That's it. By using object, we access the members of the class. Okay. So a lot of examples we'll be discussing in future about this.
Mhm.
Then now next feature is data abstraction. So before I go to this data abstraction, let me ask one small question to you. What is my name? Very easy questions. What is my name?
Raj.
Raj. Which technology I deal with?
Java.
Java. How many years of experience?
You said like 12.
Yeah, I said 15 and training
Yeah,
21.
15.
Then something, whatever the value it may be. So then is I married? How many kids?
Yes.
How many kids?
Mm,
What are their
maybe
names?
2.
Yeah, what are their names? Okay, right?
Yeah.
So what is this is only your abstraction. Means providing only essential details and hiding unrelevant details. Hiding unrelevant details. So
Mhm.
what are the relevant details here for us today? For us, what are the relevant details about my name, about my technology, about my experience, right? So whether I'm married or
Yes.
not, how many kids, what are their names, they are unrelevant details for us today, right? Clear?
Mhm.
So providing only essential details and hiding unrelevant details, that is only your abstraction. That is only your abstraction. So providing only essential details and hiding unrelevant details is called as abstraction. Is called as abstraction. Okay. Then one more example, like if I take a class employee. So for employee, what features we can give? Like employee number, employee name, employee salary, date of birth, company name, then project name, project manager name, like that. So can you keep like grandfather name of employee, grandson name of employee? They are unrelevant details for the
No.
current situation. So considering only relevant details
Yes.
and hiding unrelevant details only were abstraction. Clear with this word? I'll discuss practically about abstraction in future when I enter into Java. Okay. Then next one, we are having one more good one, encapsulation. Encapsulation. Let me define encapsulation first, then I'll go with an example. The wrapping up of, wrapping means binding. The wrapping up of, binding means combining. Data and methods together into a container called class. The wrapping up of data and methods together into a container called class, and by providing security to data is called as encapsulation. Is called as encapsulation. So this security word is more important for us. So this security to data is only one encapsulation. Okay, we need to elaborate more about what is this security value. Okay, so let me take an example to understand more about encapsulation. As an example, I am taking a class EMP. with a data member age. I'm taking a class EMP with the data member age. Then, in order to give value to age, I have to create object like I have to create an object of class employee. I'm saying employee. No syntax rules here. So I'm creating object here employee. Then by using a, we can give the value to age like some 20. Clear up here? We have created object, and by using object, I'm accessing age, and I'm giving what value to now? Age 20. So what is the value of age now?
20.
20. We have given 20. Now, in the class, let me go with one more method. A method like this. Void set age, which takes an argument a. Then what I do here, to the age, I'll assign the value of a. Means from outside of the program, I call the method like this. E dot set age of 30. What will happen when you say E dot set age of 30? 30
It will
goes to
replace the
A,
actual age.
right? 30 goes to A,
Yeah.
and that A value I'm giving to age. Now what is the value of age now?
30.
30. The value of age is 30. So in this program, how many ways are there to give value to age? In this program, how many ways are there to give value to age?
2 ways.
Yeah, right. We are having 2 ways to give value to age. Okay, we are having 2 ways to give value to age. That is directly accessing age member and by using set age method. Okay. Now, in object oriented, we are having a keyword called as private. In object oriented, we are having a keyword called as private. So don't worry about this word now. So we'll discuss more about this. Private means if I make a data member as private, means I can use this age variable only within the class. I can use age only within the class. Means I cannot use this line outside of the class. I cannot access age outside of the class. So this line will go with error now. Okay, I cannot access age outside of the class. Now you say how many ways are there to give value to age?
1.
Only one way. Very good. So we are having only one way, that is only using the method. So writing the code in this fashion only, making a data member as private and giving the value to the data member using method. So this writing the code in this fashion only, we call it as encapsulation. Okay, let me elaborate this. If I remove private, can I access age directly? Yes. If I remove private,
No.
can we access age directly?
Yes.
Yes, we can access age directly if I remove private. Right, Dinesh?
Yeah, okay.
Right. Then if I access age directly, can I give here minus 20? Can I give minus 20? Because age is integer. Integer means we can store positives and negatives. So according to the compiler, no issues at all. Right? We can give either positive or negative. But according to us, is it a correct value for age? Dinesh and Girish, is it
Actually,
a correct value for age?
age is not negative.
So age should not be negative. But so
Okay.
when I make age as not private, if I'm accessing age directly, then is that age memory is protected to store valid data now? If I'm able to access age directly, I can store whatever the value I want. Then is my age memory, is my age variable is protected to store valid data now? Is it protected now? No, not protected because I can give whatever the value I want. So to make it protected, what I should do? Make use of a keyword private. If I say private means I can give value to age only through method. I can give value to age only through method. And what is the advantage of method is the value which is coming to this A, the value which is coming to this A, I can check like this. If the value of A is greater than or equal to 18 and less than 60, if the value of A is between 18 and 60, then we'll give that value to age. Else we'll say invalid age. No syntax rules. Else we'll say what message? Invalid age. Okay. Now you got the advantage. Why we have to give value only through methods, not directly, right? What is the advantage of giving value only through methods? Why? Because the value what is coming into the method, I can check whether it is valid or not. If it is valid, I'll give it to the data member. Else I'll give message to the user. So writing the code in this fashion only we call it as encapsulation. Clear with the word security now?
Yes.
right? So we'll have more discussion about all these words again once we enter into Java. So we can say one more word. A class is fully encapsulated, means secure, when all data members are present. When all data members are present. Okay. Then next one, inheritance. Inherit means take it. Inherit means what? Take it. So the meaning of inheritance is, so already you have created a class. So once you create a class, I want to reuse that class. What are the features you are having in your class? I want to reuse it in my new class. So creating a new class from an existing class, that concept only we call it as inheritance. Next. Creating a new class
with an existing class.
from an existing class is called as inheritance. Okay. Yeah. As a simple example, if I take a class vehicle with some code inside this, then if I take a class car, I'm creating a new class called as car, which extends vehicle. So we are creating a class car which extends vehicle. Okay. So how to create new class? Just using the extends keyword. Now the advantage of doing like this is the car object. The car object can access its own members and also vehicle members. So what are the code I've written in vehicle? That code I can reuse it in my new class called as car. Okay. So the advantage of doing for inheritance is, through inheritance we can achieve reusability of the code. That's it. Okay, just remember, creating a new class from existing class is inheritance. Even if you don't remember also, don't worry. So once we enter into Java, I'll be discussing about inheritance, which will go for near to 2 days. Which I'll be discussing for 2 days, only on inheritance and polymorphs. Okay, so don't worry about this now. Okay, Dinesh and Girish. Right?
Yeah.
The last feature is polymorphism. What's the meaning of poly? What's the meaning of poly? Poly means many. Polymorphism means many forms. Polymorphism means many forms. Then, we are having two types of polymorphism. They are compile time and runtime. We are having two types of polymorphism: compile time and runtime. When you go for compile time, again we are having two more: operator overloading and method overloading. Operator overloading and method overloading. Then coming to runtime, we are having method overriding. Method overloading. Let me elaborate these words as a small overview. Operator overloading means, as an example, I am saying here 5 plus 2. What's the answer?
7.
7. If I say here hello plus world, what's the answer?
Hello world.
Hello world. That is joining. So hello plus symbol will join the strings. So same plus operator. So this plus is used to add the two numbers and same plus is used to join the two strings. So same operator but behaves differently. You are giving more functionality to an operator. So this concept only we call it as operator overloading. This concept only we say operator overloading, but don't worry about this. Not present in Java. Java for programmers. Internally it is present, but for programmers we cannot overload the operator. Okay, because it creates ambiguities. If any other programmer makes plus symbol as minus, then if I say 5 plus 2, I'll get the result as 3. So we'll get ambiguities between the programmers. So because of that reason only, a programmer cannot overload an operator. You cannot change the function. Okay, so don't worry about operator overloading. It is not present in Java. Then method overloading. The meaning of method overloading is method name is same, but the signature is different. Method name is same, but the signature is different. Then the meaning of signature is signature means number of arguments or type of arguments. The meaning of signature is number of arguments or type of arguments. Let me elaborate. As an example, if I take a method name area, the method name is what? Area, which is going with 3 arguments, 3 integers. I'm going with 3 integer arguments. Then again I'm taking the same method name area with 2 integer as arguments. So if you observe these two, is the method names are same? Dinesh and Girish? Is the method names are same? Area. But
Yes.
what about arguments? First one is going with
Yes.
3 arguments, second one is going with 2 arguments. So when they differ with number of arguments, then we say with overloading. We call it as overloading. Okay. I'm taking one more method area, same name, but I'm passing 2 floats. So second and third are different. Second and third are different with type of arguments. The data type are different. Okay. So when they differ with either number of arguments or type of arguments, then we call it as overloading. We call it as what? Overloading. Method name same, but arguments are different. Clear? Dinesh and Girish?
Yeah.
Right? Then coming to overriding. In this case, method name is same and signature is also same. Method name is same and signature is also same. And this one is applicable only in subclasses. That is new classes only. Applicable only in subclasses. Means as an example, if I take a class vehicle, which contains a method drive. In vehicle class, I'm having a method drive with some code. Then I'm creating a new class called as car, which extends vehicle. Means car is a subclass of vehicle. Car is a subclass of vehicle. In this car, if I'm writing the same method again, like void drive, same method. Whatever the method present in base class, that is vehicle class, whatever the method I'm having here, I'm writing the same method once again in my new class. So this method only we call it as overridden method. So same method name, same arguments. Then we say it as overridden. Okay. Just understand only the words. Don't worry even if you don't remember all these words. However, I discussed from the beginning once I enter into Java program. Okay. Clear? Dinesh and Girish?
Yeah.
Right? Some basic idea to do. Only the point what I require for next class once we enter into Java is only this is the point. The members of the class are accessible by using objects with data. That's it. You should know what is object, what is class, and how to access it. That's it. Only that point is enough for me to enter into Java program. Right? Any questions?
Yeah.
Anyone?
No.
Any questions? Right? So that's the part for today. Then in the next class, once you confirm with Swarup, okay, he'll be giving the details to you again. Then once he confirms, then in the next class, I'll be starting up with Java introduction. Okay, we'll start off with Java introduction. Okay, you can have a discussion with Swarup for the further things. Yeah, anything? You can ask, no issues.
Is it good?